So this goldsmithing leveling guide is going to show you how to level up quickly to 50 in Final Fantasy XIV. I recently did this myself, so I wanted to put together a quick video just showing the best leveling path up to 50. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about leveling tips. There's only really two things you're going to want to do when it comes to being a goldsmith, or really any craft. One is food. You'll want a food just to get the 3% experience point bonus and a little bit of control. I think the raw oyster is the best in terms of value. It's not too expensive and gives you up to 8 control, which is not too bad. The more expensive foods are, or the higher control foods are kind of expensive, so it's not really the best bet. You're just looking to get a little bit of experience where it's easy. Another good option is going to be the company issue survival manual right here. I'm sorry, not survival, that's for gathering. We're going to use engineering, which gives you up to 40,000 bonus experience points. It's not a lot at higher levels where you have a huge amount of experience points to earn, but it is great for low-level players. Basically, up to level 30 about, it's pretty good. You can use it at level 1, grind all the way to level 15 before it'll wear off. So it's a 50% bonus experience points to all these levels. It's definitely worth picking up a few of them, and we'll come back to that in a bit. So other than that, you do want some crafting gear, but you don't need anything great. This is actually what I took all the way to 50. It's nothing, only level 25 gear. That's all I really needed. And I mean, I put on, and you can do some higher stuff and use the spirit bond to make some materia, but I was pretty lazy and didn't feel like doing it. I had plenty of gil to blow through, so you don't even really need to keep this up to date. The only thing you need to keep up to date is going to be your offhand and your main hand. They provide so much control and craftsmanship that this gear is not even that helpful. I mean, you can use it like a good body is where you're going to get most of your stats from. But other than that, it's not that important while leveling, as long as you have your weapon and offhand up to date. It's completely different from gathering, where you want a full set of gear, because it just makes leveling so much faster. You don't really need that for crafting. So when you're actually leveling up our goldsmith, you're going to need, there's two different ways you can do it. You can either craft items, or you can do leaves. And when you're doing leaves, I'm going to teleport as I'm talking. When you're doing leaves, there's really two options. There's regular leaves and repeatable leaves. Repeatable leaves start at level 20, and they're basically leaves that you can churn in multiple times. And what I mean by that is, once you churn in the item, it will say, do you want to churn in more? And you'll say yes. You can do that up to 2 more times. So basically you get 3 times the experience point reward for just a 3 times the experience point reward for just one leave, which is pretty nice considering that if you're going to level from 1 to 50, it requires more than amount of leaves that you have. You can burn through all 100 banked up allowances and still not hit 50. So you want to try to use the repeatable leaves in order to save your totals. So speaking of repeatable leaves, these can be found in 2 locations. One is going to be the town where you initially picked up goldsmithing. That'll be Ulda for goldsmithing. Basically, wherever the guild is for your craft, that city is going to offer leaves every 5 levels. But generally, your best leaves come from camps outside in the world, and we'll go through those now. Basically, only one camp will hold each set of leaves. So, level 20 leaves will always be at Quarry Mill. They'll never be anywhere else. So let's discuss the locations, as well as the best leaves. So, your first set is going to be in Quarry Mill, as I said. Right here in South Shroud. You get both level 20 and level 25 repeatable leaves here. The best option for this level range is going to be the Brass Ring Leve, and that's a level 20 repeatable leve at Quarry Mill. At level 25, there's actually no good leaves to chain, so I would either craft or continue to use the Brass Ring quest to get through to level 30. So once you hit level 30, you've got 2 options. You can either go to Ulda or Costa del Sol, which is going to be in eastern Lenosia. Not really sure how to pronounce that city name. It's eastern. Costa del Sol is right there. And when you're doing those, you can either make Malachite earrings, which is going to be for Costa del Sol, or Malachite bracelet, which is Olda. As you can see, they're the same exact ingredients. So Costa del Sol is probably going to be a little bit faster, just because you don't have to run far to turn in the quest from the Leve person. But Olda is more convenient since the market boards are right there. So basically pick what you want to do. Either one works at level 30. At level 35, you're going to go to the Observatorium down here, and you're going to make Mythril earrings. It's a nice, easy Leve. So from here, goldsmithing is actually one of the easier ones. This is very simple ingredients. And finally, at level 40, you're going to come to this guy, and his quest is going to be, or Tradecraft. If you've got it, flaunt it. It's 3 pairs of Peridot earrings, and you're actually going to take this all the way to level 50. The level 45 Leves aren't very good, so just go from 40 to 50 right here. And that's really it for leveling up goldsmithing. I'm going to show you how to use what I mean by repeatable leaves really quickly. Switch over to class that still needs some experience. We're going to go to... So here we need blocks of lanolin. You'll see that's got 5 instead of just a typical 1. We'll head over to the quest NPC. And when you get to turn it in, you can hand in your items. You'll get your full quest reward, and then it'll say submit additional items. Yes. And each time we're getting the full reward, as you can see. Now, I don't have enough, but I could do it one more time if I had the lanolin to do so. So it's actually really convenient. You'll earn a lot of experience points that way, and you'll want to use repeatable leaves. But as I mentioned earlier, there are only so many leaves to go around, so we're going to discuss grinding now. Actually, into grinding almost all the way to level 40, for most of the way to level 40 as a goldsmith, and then I did the Peridot earrings quest to 50. So basically, I'm going to discuss the recommended grinding path now. So from levels 1 to 6, you can just make copper ingots. You can buy the ore off the guild supplier, and it costs virtually nothing. The only cost really is the shards here. So from level 6 to 10, you can then turn all those ingots into copper scepters. Marbled eyes are available off the guild supplier as well. So up to levels 16, you'll go all the way from 10 or 11 all the way up to 16 off the brass ingots. Again, zinc ore is available very cheaply off the guild supplier. Copper ore as well, so that's pretty easy. So you're going to run out of steam on brass ingots by about level 16 or so, and then we're going to switch over to crowfly. So you've already made brass ingots. You can buy crow feathers for pretty cheaply off the auction house. A guild supplier might sell these as well. I'm guessing Weaver. I'm not 100% on that, but they're so cheap on the auction house it hardly matters. And then you'll take that up to about level 20 or 21, however many brass ingots you have. Then we can just make silver ingots. We'll actually use these, so save these up. Silver ore is available on the market boards. This starts to cost a little gil. You know, silver ore is usually 25 to 40 gil a piece, but you can make the money pretty quickly. It's not that much in the long run. Probably about 6 stacks of ore is what you're going to need. And then you can take this from all the way from level 20 to about 26 off of those 6 stacks. That'll put you in like the 26, 27 range. At which point you're going to make rings. I made mostly sunstone rings because I found sunstones are really cheap, already cut. You can buy them for like 10 gil a piece on my server. Basically, sunstone ring, fluorite ring. It's just 1 gem, 1 silver ingot. You've already made the ingots, so all you have to do is buy the gems. Really, the main cost here is going to be the shards again. But you can actually sell these rings for a decent amount in the auction house. All my high quality rings went for close to 3,000 gil, and this was already made from a previous step. This was 10 gil a piece, 40 gil a piece, 30 gil a piece. I mean, it cost me 200 or 300 gil to do the synthesis, and I actually sold the high quality ones for 3K. The low quality ones I just vendored, but they were also going for like 500 gil or so. So you actually make this a net profit activity if you want to take the time to sell everything. Okay, so the next levels. From 30 to 40, we're going to grind first off of Peridot. You can grind from about 30 to 36 on Peridot, and the reason we're going to do this is because we need this for later. So once you grind up to about 36 on Peridot, you're then going to make Mythril ingots up to about level 40. You're going to want about 300 Mythril ingots and 600 Peridot. That's about what I'd recommend. And the reason we're going to do that is once you hit 40, as I recommended already, this guy right here will give you the Peridot earrings quest, and then you can just churn all those ingredients in the Peridot earrings, which require 2 Peridot and 1 Mythril ingot. That's the recipe here. So this is such a good quest line that if you just grind to 40 off of those ingredients, then you'll be set to go all the way to 50 just on leave turn-ins. But if you don't have leaves and want to grind a little bit to assist once you hit level 40, you can start off by making the earrings anyway, even if you don't do the quest. And you can sell these on the auction house, because some goldsmiths didn't make these ahead of time, so they'll just buy Peridot earrings, especially high quality ones, off of the market boards and then go turn in the quests themselves. So that's an option. You can do that all the way up to 43. And then once you hit 45, or once you hit 43, you can then switch over to the Black Pearl. I could have sworn that was up here. Skipped it or something. Okay, there it is, Black Pearl. This requires 1 ingredient and only about half the shards of a normal recipe at this level. If you just need to be able to get enough black lip oysters, they're usually pretty cheap though, so you can just send these all the way up to 50. And that's pretty much it for grinding and goldsmithing in general. So just save up your leaves for 40 if you can. The slowest spot I think is definitely 25 to 30, just because there's no leaves available that are decent. I would just recommend doing like what I had mentioned before, the grinding with the silver ingots and the silver rings. You can actually get through that without losing any gil and even making a little bit of money if you want while you save up your leaves. Then from 30 to 40, if you're planning on doing leaves at 40 anyway, you might as well grind out a good amount of Peridot and Mythril ingots, just because you're going to need all those at 40 anyway, so you might as well get the experience points for crafting them. And that's really it for this goldsmithing leveling guide. I'm going to put together another guide for some of these other professions that I'm getting ready to level up. I've got Carpenter at 48, Alchemist at 46, so guides will go up for those 2 professions as well pretty soon. So I look forward to those, and I hope this video is helpful for you.